All right, people. We're going to thank y'all for coming back with us on Real Tough Talk while we jump into the second half of the games. And we're going to get to Blackout versus PME. Now, Blackout coming in off of a win to Don't Sleep. And PME is coming in off of a big win on Grind Time. These two teams got different kind of styles. First of all, Blackout is a high pedal to the metal team. I like to call Alex Patrick Mahomes, so I call him Alex Mahomes, because his ability to not only escape and be able to run the ball, but for his ability to throw the ball anywhere on the field from any type of arm angle. This guy's been amazing this season and definitely put not only UFL, but all leagues on notice that he can be a dominant quarterback if he chooses to.
And we got to put it towards him. You mentioned that he has an arm. He can take off at any given moment. You also say that he can put it to throw to any part of the field. But we also got to give credit to his protection out there. So far, he's only been sacked once the whole season, and that's because he has Shaq as his main blocker, protect him in the pocket. So that makes a big difference when you're giving Alex that much time to get it to some of his more to his more consistent receivers, and I think that's what makes a big difference on offense.
And they're seventh in scoring. You know, that's kind of low. But they only played 2 games. This is their third game. Their efficiency should tell you what they are.
Yes.
And their 66.6 efficiency, they lead the league, meaning they score 66% of the time.
Pretty much 2 out of the 3 times that they go on the field, they score.
So that's the highest in the league. So that's why they are definitely an offense to be reckoned with. Their defense isn't too shabby either. They're actually third in defense, only giving up 14 points a game. But their efficiency is 40% of the time. You would think that could be a little better. But like we said before, they haven't played many games. And on the other side, PME. Listen, PME I think is a very underrated team. I think they have a lot of talent. I think they made some key pickups. I think the drafting of Pablo was huge. Unfortunately, he won't be at this game. But I think a lot of it is his subtractions. The guys is not here anymore. Mm-hmm. This team has a different swagger, and I think right now we could finally say this is Jaquan's team.
Yes. And that kind of structure is needed because last year they had a talented team, but they were always either at each other's, coming at each other pretty much. They weren't on the same page. They were fighting each other on the field. There was a lot of problems that this team had last year. So hopefully this year, now that the team, kind of got some of that out of the way, that they can focus on the games because they have the ability to do so with the talent they have.
I think they had like a little of a skull session. Yes. Basically, and you for the guys that don't know sports by now, that's basically when you sit down and you get out what you got to say. And you clear the room for everybody to know what you're saying.
Yes.
Definitely Doughboy, he bleeds this purple. I got to give it to him. He put a very good team together this season. They are trying to show that they belong, especially in this division. Offensively, I don't think they play. I'm looking at it right now, and they're tied for second in scoring. Mm-hmm. So they're able to put up points when they want to, but their efficiency is fifth. Mm-hmm. So they got to get that up a little bit, and I think that comes with more possessions. So when you don't have a lot of possessions, when you have a lot of games, and then it's hard to really determine. But their defense, when I look at their defense on this list here, their defense is 7th. They're giving up 17 points a game. That's kind of high, and their efficiency is 6. So they're giving up. The teams are scoring 41% of the time against them. That is not terrible. That's pretty good. It's under 50% is good. So this team definitely has the ability to make plays, but we need to see them play better. And the guy, especially the acquisition, Chad, has been playing back and forth. Sometimes he'll have a great game. Sometimes he'll fall off a little bit. I think he has to be more consistent. And I think this team has to learn. The only problem I have with them, and I've always had a problem with them, is they get in their own way. They have opportunities to win games, and they make mistakes that cause them to give the games away.
And that's the problem. It's like you said, get in their own way. They don't play the way that they're supposed to. They would struggle when they shouldn't, and they would give games away that were pretty much in their hands. So I believe that that's kind of what happened. That carried over to when they became PME last year, and they lost to the same team twice.
Yep.
Ultimately, that team ends up bumping them out of the playoffs.
Which is Don't Sleep.
Yes, and they lost to the same score 14-0. And that was all that whole lack of control on their team. Hopefully they can get that together and focus, because this is a big game against Blackout.
All right, we're going to jump right into the game. After getting the first down, Alex with 2 passes in the gap for a decent game, getting to the 15-yard line. Third down, Alex with blocking from Shaq. Rolls right, throws to Vadim in the gap, drop, and picked off by Martin. Give him the ball back. That's what PME did better than anybody else last year. They led the league in interceptions. Vadim got to make this catch, because you know there's a lot of people on this team, on this field, that don't believe Vadim should be a starter. I seen Alex go to Vadim in BQFL. Vadim is definitely a good cog. He's a good safety valve. But when you drop passes like this gives people something to sink their teeth into, saying that you don't belong on the field. He has to find a way to make this catch, especially in the red zone.
And more so than that, this is not a time where you drop a pass knowing that the team you're facing leads the league in interceptions.
Last year.
Led the league in interceptions last year. So these guys know how to get the ball on defense. So you cannot give them those opportunities. Unfortunately for Vadim, that's exactly what he does, and PME gets the ball.
Second down, Rel is blitzed by Mike. Throws a Carmine in the middle. That's going to be dropped. Mike has been playing great defense this year. He's a very good blitzer, definitely good at bringing the pressure. And what a lot of people say is this guy cannot play under control. He was not going to be able to adjust to UFL rules. The guy haven't got a cursing penalty yet, as far as I know. He's been playing under control, and when he's under control and not getting flags, he's even more dangerous. Shout to Tone for making that work. Third down, Rel on 4 rush, throws to Jaquan, cutting on the sideline, picked off by Mark. If you look here, Mark read the play from the sideline and jumped the route, but then Mike gets flagged 15 yards for cursing. We just gave the guy credit for not doing it, and he cost them 15 yards. But let's get to the thing with Mark. Mark used to play with PME.
Yes.
So you got to think that maybe he kind of knew what was coming. Maybe he kind of knew the play that was going to be called. Guy made a great interception. Tone does it again with recruiting, and this is a great play by Mark.
And the thing about it is, if you look at this play, is when you telegraph the pass, the defense is going to be able to pick it up. And that's exactly what Mark does. If you look, he's guarding the receiver here on the corner, and he sees the play before Rel sees it. You see him moving before the ball is thrown. That shows that he sees everything that's happening. He sees the open receiver, and he goes and jumps the route for the big pick there.
Second down, Alex throws a Meek in the middle. That's going to be dropped. Third down, Alex rolls left, throws a Meek, cutting in the gap for a decent gain, but Blackout is forced to punt. Like I said, this PME team is very talented. If they learn to stay out of their own way, they can upset a lot of teams. This is a great stop after your offense just gave the ball away. This is how you back your offense up. Great play by them, forcing Blackout to punt.
And this is a much needed thing when your offense is not necessarily. When your offense doesn't have their best foot on the ground, you have to make sure that you lock up on defense and get them back the ball. And that's exactly what the defense did. Hopefully the offense can pick up on this, but that's some great defense right there.
First down, Rel on 4 rush is going to make the throw, but that is going to be dropped. Third down, Rel on 4 rush, Dozy to Chad, open in the middle, dropped in the end zone, PME have to punt. This is the stuff that I talk about with Chad. I love the celebrating, I love the energy, I love the Odell Beckham style, but like Odell Beckham, sometimes he brings negative attention to himself. You have to make these plays. That is a huge drop. Rel is using the go downfield, and he drops the ball, forcing PME to have to punt.
Plays like this is what throws a quarterback's momentum off. And the thing about this play is he makes a shot, and it's a good throw right to Chad. That is a touchdown pass. And when you drop touchdown passes like that, it throws your quarterback off. You're going to be worried if he makes a mistake later on, but you got to make these plays. Chad is known for being an inconsistent player, worrying too much about himself, his stats and whatnot. He got to focus on the game, and because he's not, that's why he drops that touchdown pass.
Second down, Alex on 4 rush, throws a Meek in the gap. Meek makes a catch over Chad for a nice gain in the first down. If you look here, Chad watching Alex leaves Meek open. That's what I'm talking about. Looking to try to make a play on the quarterback, forgets his responsibility and leaves Meek to make that big play. 4th and goal. After a few short plays, Alex finds Vadim in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. That's going to take us into the half. That is what I like about Alex. So I call him Alex Mahomes. The guy finds ways to score, and especially after your main guy, the guy you like to go to in the gaps, in crucial times to dump the ball off, drops a pass, you find him again later on in the game, and this time, cash money.
And the play that made this drive, in my opinion, was that big pass to Meek. You keep him in the game, you're gonna get down the field. And the thing about it is, nobody is guarding this man all season. He's been the main ones getting these passes here. You stop this play, it lives a big third down. You have to force something to happen. You have to force a play. Make Alex work for that play. But because they leave Meek open, that's on Chad. That's why they get into the end zone, and he finds Vadim for the score here.
If I'm PME, this is exactly what I've been saying in the beginning of the game. Find ways to give up the game. Making mistakes. We've seen drop passes. We've seen third down. Rel, he's going to try to get to Quan, and he's going to get picked off by Mark, which is Mark was reading the play. Then we see Rel go downfield to Chad. Chad drops the ball. Then Chad gives up a big gain on the other side of the ball on defense. This is what happens when you get in your own way. These are what plays that we have to be able to put away. Not only if we're going to beat this team, if we can, for us to show that we can compete with other teams in this division, we got to find a way to turn it around.
And I'm not going to say, when I'm speaking about Blackout, I'm not going to say that this was the best half that I saw from them. And I believe that I feel like I need to see more. Because this Blackout team, the one thing that they have an issue with is keeping the opposite team in the game. That's the thing. You had opportunity. You could have been up 2 scores in this game. Right now, you're only up 1 because PME's offense is struggling. So you got to put the game away. Stop giving these teams an opportunity to come back in the game. They have to start shooting on all cylinders in the second half if they want to put it away, get this team out the game early.
All right, we're going to jump into the second half. PME can't do nothing, and they're going to have to punt. That is back-to-back punts on back-to-back drives that they have to give the ball up. Third down, Alex with blocking from Shaq. Those and me cutting in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first down. If you look here, Chad watching the quarterback again, leaving his guy open. And first of all, great blocking by Shaq. Shaq told me he's coming for that block of the year award. And he's been playing awesome for Alex to only be sacked once this season. That's great blocking by Shaq. Now, on the other hand, Alex is going after Chad because he knows Chad is looking at him, leaving Meek open. And this is where PME misses Pablo, because this is where Pablo will come up with a big play. But he's not here today. And this is the cause of Alex able to attack and go after Chad. That is a big play there. Fourth down to 10. Alex with blocking from Shaq. Throws to Vadim in the corner of the end zone. High, incomplete. Turnover on downs. PME is able to make the stop. That is a great play by PME. Why are you looking at me?
No. Okay.
That is a great play by PME to come away from the stop. Now, is Blackout lacking firepower? Absolutely. Yes. Brandon is not here. He's out with a foot injury. Won't be back for another 2 weeks. So Alex is trying to find Vadim, a guy he's comfortable with, especially in the red zone. But he misses this throw. Great defense by PME to make the stop.
And the thing about plays like this is why, okay, yes, you have one of your best offensive guys not in this game, but you have other guys on this team that haven't really performed that much. You have Kenny on this team that has been the most underutilized A play in this league. He's in the pocket blocking. My thing is, he got to step up. He got to become a target for Alex out there, because he's not. That's why they're struggling to score. They only have 1 touchdown ahead of this PME team, and any given moment, PME can pick it up. So they have to have somebody step up. Unfortunately, nobody does in this drive, and they turn over the ball again.
Second down, Rel is blitzed by Macho, blocked by Will. Rel throws to Jaquan for a nice gain in the first 35-yard line. Got to get Jaquan involved. The guy's too talented. Got to find a way to get him involved. Great blocking by Will. Great pitch and catch by Rel to find Jaquan. Fourth down, after a few short plays, Rel finds Jaquan in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Gene gets the extra point. 7-6, PME takes the lead.
And this is exactly what happens on plays like this, like I talked about in the first half. Like I talked about in that last drive, because Blackout does not take the opportunity to take the game away, they finally putting these things together. They have the lead. This is what they got to play. Hopefully the different defense doesn't fall apart, because they have been playing well today.
Alex with blocking from Shaq runs in the middle for a decent gain. Second down, Alex is blitzed by Carmine, blocked by Shaq. Alex throws and Meek in the gap for a nice gain and the first down. If you look here, Jaquan gets beat as Meek cuts inside. Jaquan is then flagged for cursing, and Blackout will move to the 10-yard line. That's, like I said, first of all, Carmine should never blitz. That's not what he does.
Yeah.
He was an all-star because he gets interceptions. He's not a blitzing guy. I think that's a waste of a guy to have him blitz. Then they got to realize Meek has been Alex's main target the whole game.
Yes.
So Jaquan, reigning defensive player of the year, has to find a way to not let Meek get this pass, but he gets beat, and that's a great play. Then he gets called for cursing. Now, he argued saying he didn't finish it, but it doesn't matter. If it sounds like a curse to a ref, it's going to be flagged for cursing. Once you go with the he didn't finish it, it makes it too complicated.
Yeah.
What I said, the team finds a way to get in its own way. That's going to put them to the 10-yard line. Second and goal, Alex finds Lucas in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 12-7, they take the lead.
And that play with Meek killed him. Let's just say that. That whole play with Meek killed him yet again because nobody seems to be following and guarding this man. Or Meek, and the thing is, Meek is not the fastest guy on the field. Jaquan can outrun him 20 days to Sunday. But yet still you have Meek beating you on this play right here. That was a killer right there. And for some reason, no team has figured out how to guard Meek. And that is why they got into the end zone for yet another score. When PME had control of this game, they give it away by one play that they fall on defense.
Second down, Rel throws a Gene open in the gap. That's going to be dropped. Fourth and long, Rel throws deep to Fish near the sideline. That's going to be dropped. But Kenny gets flagged with the contact with the shoulder. 15 yards, getting him to the 45-yard line. Tell me what you see on this play. And, was it a shoulder?
And this play, like I said, this play, I'm going to slow it down on this play right here. As Kenny comes in with the hit, I see that he's trying to extend the hands, but it looks like he's too close to get them out extended for the hit. It doesn't look like he got the shoulder. It could have looked like the forearm, but still, it's still a flag because it's not open hands. So because of that, he still merits the flag, and that is a big one in PME's favor.
And I think it's crazy because it's about the whole play.
Yes,
I should say. Now the refs are responsible for watching everything that goes on. It's like playing tag, or like a kid hits you in class. Usually, this person who hits the kid back is the one that gets caught. Mm-hmm. Kenny was attempting to put his hands out, but like you said, it was so close that he couldn't get his full extension out. What all the ref is going to see is the forearms coming. He can't tell that the guy attempted to put his hands out.
Yeah.
It's a bang bang. So that's not a bad call. To me, any call that's close is not a bad call.
Yeah.
A bad call is a play that's clear, that's mishapped by the refs. And that happens in football. I've done that. I've always said if I made a mistake, I've made a mistake. You try not to make mistakes in playoffs. You try not to make consistent mistakes, but it happens.
Yeah.
I think that is something you would have to have seen the whole play, and when a ref is responsible for so much, that is difficult. But PME is going to get a big 15-yard penalty.
I mean, at the end of the day, I believe the flag was merited on that play regardless.
I think it is. They said that he hit him with a shoulder. It wasn't a shoulder.
But the forearm is still a flag.
But the forearm is flag because it's not a straight tag.
Yes.
Now, maybe if you see it from the beginning, you give leeway. I don't. I still flag it. I still think you got to find a way to you got to protect the player. But Fish got to make this catch.
Yes.
He dropped the ball before the contact. You got to make this catch. It's questionable that Rel went downfield to him out of all people, but he made a great throw. Fish has to make this catch, but they're gonna get lucky because it's gonna be a 15-yard penalty, and it's going to be at the 45-yard line. Mm-hmm. Fourth down. Rel is gonna push Will in an attempt to block AB. In the attempt, AB is going to swim past the block and make the tag on Rel as he's attempting to run. Ending the game, stopping the first down, ending the game, Blackout with the win, 12-7. Now we're going to go through the play because PME got upset. They thought this call was blown.
I want you to get through this because I have so much to say about this at the end. So go ahead.
So as you're going to look here, as the count is going, you can see the way the guys are standing, they're going to run the ball. They're going to try to run to get the first down. Rel pushes Will forward in an attempt to run the ball because they're running for the first down. The right side's open on the run. AB avoids Will. Will still doesn't know what's going on, but it was an attempt to run the ball. Because you could see Rel attempting to run. AB comes over and makes the tag to end the game. Now, they thought it was a blown call. Look at Rel's reaction and look at Jaquan's reaction. They knew it was a run play. They went to, you can see Jaquan frustrated with Will because it was a run play. But then you see Light come up and say he went on 3. Now, that's when they started going, of course, you're going to try to find a way out of it, whatever. And I'll take that. Listen, the rule is if the giver, if in order to run the ball, you have to hit the giver. Or attempt to hit the giver. Well, Rel is pushing Will in an attempt to hit the giver. Because that's why Rel is running. Because if you think about it, if AB misses this tag, then Rel gets across the line before 4. And it's a loss of down. So it was an attempt. And once he made the attempt for the run, there is no more count. And that's the play. Everybody knows this rule. BQFL created the rule. We have the rule also because we had guys, as you know before, attempt to run away from the hit of the middle. And then the team is like, well, he's running away. How can we hit the middle? We're in front of him. We're engaging him in front of him. He can see us, but he's running down the block. So that's why the rule was in. It's been in for a few years. But they thought that I blew the call and gave him the game. Now you can go ahead.
Listen, all of that, fine and dandy. All of that is true about the rule and all of this. But we're forgetting one particular thing. None of that matters, in my opinion. And it should be in everybody else's opinion if you look at the play. If you look, yes, this is all focused on a run. But if you look on the opposite side, Gene in the gap is wide open for the first down, and he could have ran for an extra, 15 yards? There's nobody on the sideline. So they were so focused on the run that they leave someone on the field wide open for an easy first down. That run was dumb, and it looked like AB and them and Blackout was prepared for that run, and that's why AB was able to react on that play. Gene's left wide open in the gap. All you have to do is a short dump-off pass. That's an easy first down. But these are the brain farts that I see PME do every now and then. That cost them games. You can't, listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to be the one to say, let's hypothetically say whatever happened and it's supposed to be ruled in your favor or whatever with the call. I'm sorry. If you miss an easy play like that, that's on you. Why make it so close by making a complicated run where this could happen and that could happen when you could do an easy dump-off pass here? If the defense stops you there, hats off to the defense. But this man is wide open for the easy pass for the first down, and they missed that. And nobody calls and say, yo, just pass the ball. If you look at Jaquan, he's not even worried about arguing. Why? Because he knows that was a bad play in the first place. Will runs, doesn't go right to AB to block. He hesitates and gives AB the opportunity to dive right behind him, to dive around him, dodging a block. That doesn't make any sense, and I believe that play right there is what gave away the game for them after them getting a flag in their favor on something that could have went either way. They gave away that play and the game as well.
Listen, you summed it up. And people are free to think what they want. And I always say this game, as plays like this, as you saw with that other call that was made, this game could go anyway. It's going fast. You're dealing with a lot of athletes. And it's hard. If you don't have a camera to slow the play down, let's do the best we can. But I'm going to stick with what I saw. I looked to me like it was an attempt to a running play, which is what stopped the count. AB plays in the league. He's played in this league before.
Yes.
He knows the rules, and he plays in the BQFL. Both leagues copycat off each other. So the rules are similar, other than the blitz, other than the under 4 minutes, on the outside 4 minutes, the ball is dead. All the rules are practically the same. So and they got the same refs that refs in the BQFL that's here. So all the refs, the rules are the same. I think that this was a bad play call, which I believe that, like I said, PME unfortunately finds ways to give games away. And this is why they drafted Pablo. Because Pablo would keep this team relaxed and keep them calm, like this is what's going on. And Carmine yelled, and listen, Carmine could be Guys think he's obnoxious. I think he's a baller. He just got all that energy. He said, we lost this game. He didn't want to hear nothing. He didn't want to hear explanation. He didn't want to talk to me about the play. He don't care about nothing. He said, we lost this game. We dropped several passes. We gave them several plays.
Yeah.
And he's right. You know what I'm saying? They held Blackout to 2 for 5. 2 for 5. That's pretty good. And they made mistakes in order to give the touchdown. You showed that.
Yes.
The play with Meek beat Chad. Those are plays that you put Blackout in position to make points. And PME, they didn't score until their 4th possession. They punted twice. That's bad.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think this team is very talented. I think this team can be very dangerous, but I think they have times where they give away the game.
Listen, at the end of the day, this is another close call for Blackout. And if they keep games like this, I don't see them surviving through the playoffs. I'm going to say that now. If they keep keeping these games close, they're going to be in trouble come playoff time. Because any team could come in and sneak away a win in the playoffs.
Yeah, because PME could have won this game.
And it's one and done in the playoffs. That they know that. So they got to play better than this. They cannot keep these games close. And all PME had to do was make better decisions on that last drive, and this could have been a completely different game.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Blackout got to play better than this. Yes, they won the game. Yes, they was able to hold it down and come away with the win. But it's not good enough in my opinion. They have to play a little bit stronger and show why they're probably one of the most talented teams out here.
And they go to 3-0. So definitely they're the top team in the division, but they show that they're very beatable. We're going to wrap this one up. Blackout with the close win over PME 12-7. We'll be right back. All right, next game up, Don't Sleep versus Never Scared. Never Scared is coming in off of a win to the Sharks. And Don't Sleep is coming off of a win to Rep City, the defending champs. Don't Sleep, listen, they're not coming in the way that they expected to. They just got their first win after losing, I believe, their previous 2 games, if I'm right. All right, so Don't Sleep, they're not playing the way that everybody expected it to. A lot of people thought it was coming off of a championship high, but they're still a little bit inconsistent. This Don't Sleep team is 12th in scoring. This Don't Sleep team is 12th in efficiency. They score 31.2% of the time. Well, they were supposed to be up. Green was supposed to upgrade over KC. Last year, Don't Sleep averages 22%. Mm-hmm. So now you went from 22% to 31%. You went up about 9.2% in scoring. That's not a big deal. You got a 9.2 raise. It's not a good thing.
So meaning one time out of the many that they're more likely to score. That's
and
not
they
much.
went up scoring from 11 points a game. They was at 9.8 last season. They went up 11 to 11. Still not a big upgrade that Reem brung so far. Their defense gives up 17.3 points a game. And their efficiency is 8. It's their 8th in efficiency. They give up 50% of the time, which is pretty decent in here. But last year, they gave up 17.2% of the time, their defense. They gave up 10 points. So they gave up less points last year, and their efficiency was better last year. They lost several players, especially losing Benny, an all-star last year. They lost him. They drafted Femi. It hasn't really worked out yet.
Yeah.
Reem does not have great protection. They don't have great blockers for him. What is going on with this Don't Sleep team?
They're playing like they're still not ready for the league. That's what it looks like. They're scraping by on certain games. Certain games they're just looking terrible. The thing about it, they're a much more talented team that they're letting on the field.
Right, I
Reem
agree.
is a much more talented quarterback than he is letting on the field. A lot of guys are not like one main target that KC used to use a lot. J.O. hasn't really gotten the ball as much this season. Joel needs to get the ball more in the gaps to make some plays.
He's not doing nothing that he did last year. He was another all-star last year.
The 2 players that I saw step up this season is Mike and I believe Khalil, especially on defense. Those 2 guys are playing really well this season. Other than that, everybody else took like a step back, I would say. So a lot of guys got to step up and play to their caliber. They're not doing that right now, and I think that that's what's reflecting in their record right now.
Yeah, they got to get Aha back. He's been injured, and Femi, they drafted him. Like he has to give. He hasn't really given anything this season. And on the other side, you have Never Scared. Never Scared right now. They lead the league in scoring. At 25.3. This is a team that 2 years in a row led the league in drops. So they went from 11.5 last year to 25.3 this year. Their efficiency last year was 28.9% of the time they scored. You know what it is this year? 64.2. 64, I mean, they're in second. Only Blackout has a better efficiency. So they score. And what's their defense? That's why I love numbers. Their defense last year, they had a pretty good defense. Their efficiency was 30%. So you scored 30% of the time you got the ball when you played them. This year, their defense is struggling. They give up. They're 58% of the time the teams play against them, they score. That's terrible. And their points last year, they was giving up. Last year, they gave up 14.8 points a game. Right now, this year, 22.6. Their defense is horrendous. Their offense is carrying them.
And this is a complete flip around from last year. And that's pretty much reflected on the score. The sad part is they're pretty much struggling to stay into the competition because of that flip. So it's hard to say, well, they improved on offense, but then they took a decline on defense. So at the end of the day, you're still in the same predicament you was last year.
Yep.
But they still have an opportunity to fix that during the season. I think that the coaching and the structure of this team is what made a big difference. And I think that the dynamic between Tiki and Ed working well, focusing on different sides of the ball, I think that it's really working, and they just have to pick it up and improve as they move along.
And they made a move. Fred got hurt. They have Chris throwing. Chris threw last week and they won, and they have him throwing this game. What do you think about Chris going forward, especially now that you're going to see Fred this game move to tight end?
I see. The thing about Chris is, regardless of what team he's playing on, he knows how to put up points. The one game he played last year for PME, he put up 2 touchdowns and ran one in.
Yep.
That was the only game he played at quarterback, and he scored 3 touchdowns by himself.
Yep.
So when he comes in, he is a points scorer. Nothing against Fred, but they're different quarterbacks, and Chris has more options on the field, and the fact that he can extend the play with his feet makes him that much more dangerous, and that is what they're capitalizing on. As Fred moves to tight end, understand that Fred is capable of playing tight end as well. He has a big body. He has relative speed in the gap, and he can catch. So at the end of the day, he can be another weapon out there for Chris. So that adjustment can only help them in the end.
And we're going to have our thoughts and prayers go with Dave, tight end from Never Scared, as he lost his mom. His mom passed away. So we just wanted to show him love. It's a picture right here, and much love to this guy. We're with you, and we're sending you our love, our prayers, and we got your back, brother. You know, we hope to see you. He didn't make this game.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you soon. But take all the time you need. Football, be here. We be here when you get back, bro. Just wanted to send you that love. All right, we're gonna jump into the game. Third down. Reem is blitzed by Pret, who's blocked by Rob. Reem throws a Sherm in the gap. Short, picked off by Ra. Never Scared gets the ball, and these are the 6. First of all, brilliant idea for Tiki to bring Pret to the scene.
Yes.
That is the cog of everything. That's the guy who's going to put everybody in the position that they need to be, Tiki style. Now, the pressure was great. Reem makes a bad read, throws the ball short, and we said they give a point, but Never Scared is second in interceptions. They get the football, and they make a big turnover here.
And all of that comes from the pressure in the pocket. So at the end of the day, you got to give credit to Tiki and credit to Pret with this blitz here. It threw Reem off, and Reem was not able to be accurate with this pass because he's worried about avoiding the blitz. And because of that, he misses his target here, and it leads to an interception.
Chris throws deep to Chris on the sideline in the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Sherm gets beat watching the quarterback. Mimi gets the extra point. 7-0, never scared. First of all, we seen Chris go to another Chris C19 before.
Yes.
This Chris here, a lot more speed. Chris is showing the ability to play both sides of the ball. He gets caught up in the whole Super Friends where you have so many stars around you, you don't really get to see. This is his opportunity for us to see what he can do on his own. He's doing it very well, and Chris find him, C-to-C connection. Reem with 2 short plays for a decent game. 4th down at the 40-yard line. Reem scrambles and is sacked by Pret. Turnover on downs. If you look here, Rob is open. We see Pret bring pressure. Now we see Pret with a big sack. Can't lie and tell me Sharks don't miss this guy. They never really knew what he could do. He's showing it here. Great play by him on this
And it's
stop.
always about when you make play. Right there, they waited till 4th down for him to bring pressure on that play. Catches Reem by surprise. And the thing about Reem here, he hesitates to throw the ball. Rob is open in the middle. So all you have to do is do the quick dump off, but because he's so worried about getting away from the pressure, he doesn't throw it off in time. He hesitates, and Pret is able to get the sack for the turnover.
Okay. Second down, Chris is blitzed by Rob and throws a Nas in the front of the end zone. Pass is tipped by Juju, but still caught by Nas for the touchdown. 13-0. They take a 2-score lead.
And that's unfortunate because this was a good defensive play by Juju. He comes in, puts pressure on the quarterback, and because he's tall, he gets to get those knockdown plays there. He gets it, but unfortunately, Nas is still right in the vicinity to get the touchdown. Way to focus on the ball and still get the play for the score, and that was a big one there.
Reem with 3 passes for a decent game, picking up the 1st down. Then Reem throws a Juju open on the sideline, high, incomplete. Second down, Reem throws a Juju open in the back of the end zone, caught but out of bounds. 3rd down, Reem is blitzed by Ra-Ra. Throws deep to Femi in the back of the end zone, incomplete. If you look here, Grunk is open short. He's missing guys now. 4th down, Reem on 4 rush, throws it up, picked off by Chris. Chris gets another big play, giving the ball back to Never Scared.
And if you look at this drive, if you look at this drive right here, every single pass was towards the end zone. Every one. They did not get a yard on this drive after getting the 1st down. That is not a good look, especially when you're not making your job that much easier. Now, these first 2 throws to Juju, I don't mind these 2 throws because all you have to do is be accurate on the throws, and unfortunately he was not. This 3rd down play, I would rather than throw short to Gronk here, get some yardage, make it easier for you to get into the end zone. He doesn't do that. He takes a risk throwing it to Femi. Femi's not able to get to it, and that's an incomplete pass. This one, now you're forced to toss it up, and the defense is in favor of getting it, and that's exactly what happens.
3rd and long. After 2 incomplete passes, Chris is blitzed by Sherm. Throws short to Fred, who runs on the sideline. Nice game, picking up the 1st down. You just talked about Fred being a weapon.
Yes.
He's showing he's able to be a weapon offensively. 3rd down, Chris rolls right with blocking from Pret. Throws to Fred in the gap with blocking by Nas. Fred runs into the end zone for the touchdown. 19-0 is turning into a laugher.
And way for Fred to show that he can be a weapon out there, regardless if he's quarterbacking or not. His arm is injured, he's still healing, but at the end of the day, he still can go out and get the ball, and Chris is able to find him. Like I said, Chris can get anybody into the end zone, and it's showing that right here with them connecting here, and they pretty much have full momentum in this game.
Last play before half, Reem pitches it to Grunk, who throws it up. It's picked off by Kamal, taking us into the half, 19-0. Never Scared.
Counting that one, but that was 2 interceptions in the half thrown by Reem, being under pressure. So whatever this offensive scheme that they have right now, it's not working. They're putting Reem under too much pressure. Reem is not able to make any accurate throws because he's worried about the pressure coming. So somebody has to sit there. If it's going to be Rob, if it's going to be Grunk, somebody has to keep him in the pocket and keep him safe, because as long as he's worried about the pressure coming in, he's not going to make accurate throws, and it's going to force turnovers, and that is why the score is looking the way it is right now.
Never Scared is putting everybody on notice. This season, we talked about DG. This season, we talked about Sharks. This season, we talked about Blackout, all in that division. Everybody thought that those were going to be the monster teams in that division. They said, oh, Never Scared, nothing. I think I heard Maine talk about them. That's why they're the first pick. They're not doing nothing. Well, the team that leads the league in scoring already put 19 points up. They scored on every possession. They got the ball in the first half. This team is dangerous. and Travis gets here late, Dave is not here. This team is very dangerous. They showing their ability. They got 3 picks. Yes, one of them, the last one was a throw up, but it was still an interception. Because if it was a touchdown, we would have said they gave up a touchdown. They have 3 interceptions in the first half. They have 4. They stopped this don't sleep offense 4 out of 4 in the first half.
Yeah.
And this is what they need to do consistently. If they can get better and bring the defense to the party when the offense is leading the dance, this team could be very dangerous. We're going to have to see what happens in the second half. Chris is going to get the ball. He's going to run in the gap with nice blocker for Mimi. Chris gets by Rob and runs for a big gain in the first down. Rob is flagged for the high tag as Never Scared moved to the 10-yard line. What you think of the tag?
I believe that this was a frustration tag because he misses the play here, doesn't get the tag, and Chris runs for a huge gain on this play. This, if you look here, he comes from behind, makes a frustration tag, and he winds up, hands over his head, and makes a tag. You see Chris's hat fall out or whatnot. They said that, it wasn't a hit on his head or whatever, but it doesn't matter. That's unnecessary roughness at the end of the day. It's not necessary. You could simply make the tag. That was frustration.
Yes.
It was unnecessary, and that's why they get the flag there.
And as a call that I make, when I'm responsible for a call that a team thinks is controversy, I like to just jump in and take the blame for it. I thought it was an unnecessary tag. I said the same thing that you said. I saw the same thing that you saw.
I mean, you look at on the play.
Yes,
you see
it's a frustration tag. This wasn't a regular football tag. Chris got a huge gain, which is why it was a frustration tag. That's not going to be a lot, especially on the quarterback, and I think that was a warranted call. 3rd and goal. Chris finds Nas in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. 25-0. Never Scared.
And first of all, this is Nas' second touchdown of the day. Wait for him to step up and play his game. And Chris, right now, is showing that he can do it with his feet as well. Like I said before we started covering the game, this man is so dangerous because he has so many options on the field. He extends a play, and he's able to take off at any given moment, give him a couple blocks, and he's running down the field for a big gain. So at the end of the day, I would say that this hurts the defense a lot more because now they have to worry about so much. And Chris is still able to get down to the end zone for the score here.
2nd down, Ream sits in the pocket and throws a Femi open on the sideline for a nice gain in the 1st down. If you look at Jordan, that giver never rushes them 4, gives Ream time. He got to get Femi involved. Great way to get him involved there. 2nd down, Ream throws short to Rob in the gap. Rob misses the tag. Then Chris misses him as he runs into the end zone for the touchdown. Juju gets the extra point. 25-8. Don't sleep, finally scores. I like this guy, Rob. I don't agree with the tag he made earlier, but at least he shows toughness. And you know what it is? When you're bullying me, I got to show some type of fight. So yes, that was an unnecessary hit, but I understand why. Like, y'all not going to do this to us. We're going to show something here. And he's showing something on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think he's a dirty player. I think he brings toughness that Don't Sleep needs, and now he's showing it on the offensive side of the ball.
And that was a much touchdown. It took 25 straight points by Never Scared in order for them to finally get into the end zone. Yep. Is it too little too late? It's hard to say because they still have some time on the clock, but they have to move and hold on defense. That is the key to this game right now.
Chris on 4 rush is sacked by Joel. That is a big sack. Joel was top in sacks last year, one of the top guys. But Don't Sleep led the league in sacks last year. Right now, they're in 3rd. They got to continue to make that pressure, make those plays. Big sack there. 3rd and long. Chris is blitzed by Rob, who throws a Fred short, off target, incomplete. Never Scared's going to have to punt. Great stop by Don't Sleep, their first stop of the game.
And they're finally able to put pressure on Chris, keep him in a pocket and force passes here. And because of that, they're able to force a turnover. They have the ball back. They need these quick stops on defense. If they do that, they have a shot. But they have to make sure that they maintain this defensive play. But they're doing it well right now.
After getting the first down, Ream throws a Grunk in the gap, who pitches it back to Ream. Ream runs for a nice gain, getting him to the 15-yard line. This is what they need to do. They got to be a creative time, try to find a way to move the ball, and they do there. 3rd down, Ream throws to Femi in the corner end zone, almost picked off by Rara. If you look, Travis is watching from the sideline for coming late to the game. And the reason we're showing that is I love the fact the way Tiki Ed is coaching. Just because Travis is a drafted player, he got here late, they didn't let him play. He didn't play the time that he usually used to playing. I wanted to show that and give the credit to this coaching staff. 4th down, Reem on 4 rush, throws to Mike in the back of the end zone. Mike makes a catch over 2 defenders for the touchdown. 25-14. Don't Sleep is creeping back. Maybe they should have put Travis in the game.
I was just about to say, that's the trade-off that you make when you're disciplined. At the end of the day, Travis would be in that vicinity to make a play there. But because he's not on the field, Mike is able to bully them on that play there. That is a great effort. And that's why I said Mike has been one of the guys stepping up on this Don't Sleep team. If he was in the stock market, his stocks would be flying through the roof right now, because in the last 2 games, this man has been the best player on the field, playing on both sides, and he's showing that he is one of the key cogs to this Don't Sleep offense.
3rd down after a pass in the middle. Chris throws to Travis on the sideline. It's tipped, bobbled by Travis, picked off by Chris, who runs it to the 7-yard line. Listen, y'all better stop underestimating Chris's size. The guy is physical, but he finds the football. So when Travis is bobbling with like a loaf of bread, Chris is going to say, "Thank you very much. Remember the Pac-Man?" That's all he did. The pellet, that's all he did. Ate that pellet up and gave the ball back to his team.
First of all, Ayo, and second, at the end of the day, Travis, again, this just shows that this is what happens when you come in not necessarily being on the field, you come in not being a part of the team or whatever, and you come in and you make plays like this. This is supposed to be a catch. This was a high pass, but he bobbles it and gives the defense an opportunity to make a play. You come down with it, it's a completely different game, probably game over. But you keep the game alive for them by giving Chris the opportunity to make a pick, and that's exactly what he does here.
Reem is going to get the ball back with 4 rush. He's going to run in the gap with blocks by Crump and Rob. Reem runs it into the end zone for the touchdown. 25-20. They're creeping back. Might be a little too late, but that's a great run by Reem. Never Scared gets the ball back, and they're going to run the clock out. Ending the game, 25-20. They come away with the win.
And it was definitely too little too late, and that's the thing about Don't Sleep. You can't take this long to start getting your engines going. You can't, because sometimes the game will be so far gone that it doesn't matter what you do at the end. It's not as close as you make it seem like on the scoreboard. This game was not as close as it is there because the time ran out. They didn't have enough time there. Now, they kind of complained because they said that, because there was no kickoffs and there was no punts, anything like that, they didn't have opportunity to go for an onside throw or whatnot. But at the end of the day, you had the opportunity to make plays and you didn't. You came up short and you started too late. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. You can't worry about what's there, what's not. Every team is going through the same thing. It's just the opportunities that you had, you didn't take it until later on in the game when Never Scared took their feet off the pedal. And because of that, you just come off short. But these are games you have to play like that all the time. They just did it too late in this one.
This is a positive and a negative for Never Scared. It's a positive because Chris is dangerous. He had 4 touchdown passes this game. This guy is very dangerous at quarterback. They added another weapon by putting their former starting quarterback at tight end. So when Dave get back, that's going to be trouble in the middle for those guys. Brett shows the ability to get this defense together and shows the ability for him to be a good blocker and give Chris time. Travis wasn't even here the whole game. He got here late, and they still was able to make plays without him. But they gave up 3 touchdowns in the second half.
3 straight touchdowns.
And that's because their defense is not very good. People get mad when I say, their defense averages giving up 22.6 a game, not counting this. And in this game, they gave up 20. So what does that mean? That's around their average.
Yeah.
They give up points. Not very good. Now, they make turnovers. As you can see, I told you before. As you can see, they sack the quarterback pretty well, and they get turnovers. They get interceptions. They second in interceptions, and that's not even counting this game where they had 3. But they give up points.
Yeah.
You can't win games when you're giving up points. You can't win games when I'm looking at the paper right here and your defense is giving up 22 points a game and your efficiency, teams score 58% of the time. Well, if there's 2 halves of football in the second half, they scored 3 out of 3 possessions. In the first half, they stopped them 4 times. So that means they had the ball 7 times and scored 3.
Now,
That's almost 50%.
just throw up some 2 numbers out there. Give me the percent. Give me the points per game that they score and the points per game that they allow.
They scored league in 25.3 points a game. As you see, they had 25 points.
23 points, right? Now give me the points that they allow.
They allowed 22.6 points.
So that is 1 point differential between the offense and the defense. That's why. Can you tell me their score, their record right now?
They're 2-2.
That's the show right there. The record speaks for itself. It's the stats speak for the record. The games can go either way because they either give up that same amount of points that they make on the field. So that can go either way, and that's why they are right in the middle of the pack at 2-2. They got to improve their defense, and if they're gonna even want a chance to win these games, because they're keeping it too close by giving up exactly almost the same amount that they score. That's not a good look for Never Scared. They have a lot more improvement to do.
And
3 divided by 7. Oh, there you go. That is 42.8%.
Okay. And if you look at Don't Sleep, like I said before, they were 3 for 7 this game. And what percentage is that?
42.8.
And they usually average 31. So, they played a lot better in the second half, but they played against a bad defense. But their defense on the other side, they gave Don't Sleep's defense, which was good last year.
Yeah.
Never Scared had the ball 7 times, and they scored 4. They scored 4 out of 7 possessions. That's too much. And that's the issue with Don't Sleep this season. It's not only their defense that's not helping them, as they are 8th in defense in points given up. So they're giving up 17.3. That's a lot. Reem has to play better. He has 6 touchdown passes this season. Casey has 6 all of last season. So that's an upgrade. But he's thrown 4 interceptions. Casey threw 8. But the problem is not only that, he's been sacked 6 times. He gets sacked a lot.
Yeah.
They got to find a way to protect him. And I think that's why his numbers is down, because they're not protecting him. He's running for his life all the time on you. He said in the beginning, in the first interview we had with him, when you don't got a blocker, it's hard to get comfortable. And it's the truth. Joel has to find somebody that's going to block. Can't be Grunk. Grunk is one of your top receivers. You got to get that guy downfield, not blocking. They may have to pull a trade. Listen, I'm trading somebody if I have to. AI is hurt. Maybe I'll trade AI to UTF. I don't know if that'll work with, he going with Jeremy. But they need to get a trade and get a blocker. They got to get a blocker in here. They got to give Reem more time. They're struggling. J.O., that's not what he does. I don't think they really figured out a blocker they can go get. But they need to pull a trigger to go get a blocker. Other than that, this team, Maine gets mad. Me and him go back and forth. And I call them the puppies. You can't say these are dogs who gave up 25 points. You was the same average as everybody else playing against Never Scared. And you're supposed to have a top secondary. Not looking like it. This team has to get better. They're not playing at the level that they should. They have the talent to. They got to get Aha back. Femi has to get more involved. Chris got to keep making the plays he been making defensively. Offensively, J.O. got to get the ball. They got to find a way Macho to get in the game. I see Macho on the sideline.
Yeah.
They got to get Juju involved. Sherm is not what they thought he was going to be. We seen him get beat this game. We saw him get beat by Brandon. So, against Blackout. They got to play better, or it's going to be a one and done in the playoffs. We're going to wrap this game up. Never Scared, come away with the win, 25-20 over Don't Sleep. We'll be right back. All right. We're going to jump into the last game, Monarchs versus 99. This is a big game. It's a divisional game.
Yeah.
Monarchs come in, and I'm going to give you a quick rundown real quick. Monarchs are tied for second in scoring, 23 points a game. Efficiency, 62%. They're third. They score 62% of the time they step on the field. Their defense, they're second in defense. Only the Raiders have a better defense. They're giving up 11.3 points a game. Efficiency, 31.2%. They're second in efficiency. So they are making stops. You score 31% of the time when you play them. That's like 70% of the time they stop you. Mm-hmm. That's great defense. Now, they got to get better as far as sacking the quarterback. They're tied for 12th. They don't really bring sacks, but that guy that they brung in, Damo, may change all that. We'll see in this game. But they lead the league in interceptions. What have you seen so far from this team, and why didn't anybody expect it to be them playing the way they play?
I mean, what I've definitely seen is aggressiveness and athleticism. These guys are athletes out there. These guys have speed. These guys, run 100 miles an hour whenever the ball is in the air. You have guys that have that swagger. You have Henry out there, and you also have Bell. They have Malachi back here in the backfield. So this defense is dangerous. You have all of these secondary guys. You have Benny that they added, who's also contributing for this team, a good addition to this team. So this defense, I would say I like watching this defense a lot more than I like watching their offense. And that's saying a lot because their offense is really good when they're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
So that just shows that it's hard for me to say, or for anybody to say that this team was surprising that they have a good defense, because they always had a good defense.
Yep, 29% they gave up efficiency last year, and they gave up 11 points. I believe they were number 2 in defense. Yeah, so definitely you have a point.
And the scary thing is they only gotten better now that they have a definitive pass rusher in Damu. So at the end of the day, their defense can only be that much harder to deal with when you play this small.
What I would like to tell you is the amazing thing of their offense.
Yeah.
Last year, this team was scoring 10.6 points a game. They brought in the reigning offensive player of the year, and now they're averaging 23.
Yeah.
That's when you go get a draft pick in Henry.
Yeah.
And you go get the gunslinging Ramsey. That's what they brought this season, and that's why they're one of the most dangerous teams in the league.
Yeah.
The other side, you got 99. Now, first of all, they're going to unveil the big pickup in the offseason, Trev, who they stole from DG.
Yeah.
Shannon's been playing great. You got to give the man his props. He didn't play great at all last season. Played pretty bad. But right now, their offense, last year, they averaged 11.6 points a game. This year, 21. So it's up. Last year, 37% of the time they scored. This year, 53% of the time they scored. So they went up. Now, they're playing very well. Their defense, on the other hand, 34% efficiency last year. This year, their defense efficiency, 55%. So they're giving up. Teams are more successful against them. Last year, they gave up 15.1 points a game. This year, they're giving up 21.3. So their defense has kind of stepped back. They lost Ja. They lost Swan. They lost those important pieces of their defense. But their offense is playing a lot better, led by Shannon and definitely led by Slutty.
And this play right here, I believe that Shannon's able to step up and get his numbers a little bit better this season because he's running the ball more. He's trying to prove that he was a pocket passer, but there's nothing to prove as long as you're scoring points and you're making these plays happen. So now he's choosing exactly when to run. If he sees a gap, he's taking off, and he's getting 40 yards per play. And that is a big difference maker when you have defenses having to adjust to your run and you open receivers up on the top. Slutty's been playing very big because of the benefits of Shannon rolling out and extending the play. So that's a better dynamic for their offense, and that's why they're performing that much better.
Well, all right, we're going to jump right into the game, 99 versus Monarchs. Second down, Ramsey's going to throw to Benny in the gap, almost picked off by Jay. Third down, Ramsey's blitzed by Trev, blocked by Mike. Ramsey throws deep to Henry, who has a step on Jay. The ball is dropped in the end zone, incomplete pass. This has been Henry's Achilles heel. He's known to drop passes. That's a big pass drop. Ramsey trusts him, and he let him down here. Fourth down, Ramsey throws to Javon, open in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first down. If you look here, Rico steps up, rushing in, leaving him open. Ramsey has been using Javon very well this season. Javon's a former All-Star, was an All-Star last year. Great play there. Third down, Ramsey scrambles with blocker from Kaz and Mike. Ramsey is sacked by Trev before he gets the ball off. This is why they wanted Trev. They wanted his energy, his ability to make plays, and he does it here. Big sack by Trev there.
And one thing about Trev that you gotta love is that he plays 100 miles an hour no matter what position you give him, no matter what position he's playing, regardless of where he's on the field, he's giving you 110. If you look here, he's running right past the blocker here, gets around and makes the sack here. That is the extra fire that you need on this 99 team, and Trevor's the guy that brings it to them.
Fourth down, Ramsey's blitzed by Rico, rolls left, throws to Henry, cutting in the back of the end zone. Trev gets a hand in it, incomplete, turnover on downs. We seen Trev be an important player that they brung in. We seen him make 2 huge plays on this drive. That's why they went and got him.
And that's much needed because Henry's a difficult receiver to guard, but Trev is fast enough to actually get there and make a play on it, bring to some contact and make that catch a harder one to make, and that they get the turnover on downs there.
Third down, Shannon on 4 rush runs in the gap for a nice gain, getting him to the 40-yard line. After getting the first down, Shannon throws deep to stretch in the back of the end zone, high, incomplete. Fourth down at the 6-yard line. Shannon with blocking from Book is still sacked by Damo. Turnover on downs, Damo beat Book.
And this play right here, first of all, you got to say Damo is probably a really hard cover for any blocker when he's coming in because he is not only strong, but he's fast. So he's able to move around at any given moment. Shannon and Book got to communicate more because Book has to know exactly where Shannon is to know where to block. They miscommunicate there, and Damo's able to get the sack.
Damo's going to get flagged for cursing, though.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty while Monarchs get the ball back. After getting the first down, Ramsey throws to Javon on the sideline for a decent gain. 4th and goal at the 5-yard line. After a few short plays, Ramsey rolls right, throws to Henry in the back of the end zone. That's going to be dropped. Turnover on downs. They stop him again, and Henry with a huge drop, his second drop of the day.
After Ramsey had that last game where he was throwing terrible, now he's getting the ball right to the receiver, especially Henry. Unfortunately, this is his second touchdown drop for Henry this season. Whatever disease or whatever sickness is out there about drop passes, whatever, Henry seems to have gotten it, and because of that, he's dropping touchdown passes right now.
After getting the first down, Shannon throws a slutty in the middle who runs in the gap, getting to the 10-yard line. 3rd and goal, Shannon throws short to Trev in the gap, who runs it into the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0, 99 scores, 1 minute left in the game.
And in the game,
1 minute left in the half.
And Trev comes in, he gets a sack on defense, gets a big stop on defense, and now he's coming and showing his expertise on offense, fast enough to get a play in the gap and run into the end zone. This is a connection that I'm sure Shannon's going to take advantage of a lot more because Trevor's a person that's a big as a dangerous offensive weapon out there, and he's able to get him in for the score.
After getting the first down, Ramsey's blitzed by Trev, who's blocked by Kaz. Ramsey throws a tie in the middle, getting him to the 2-yard line. Trev is injured and will not return as he rushes in.
And this is a hard thing to watch because Trevor's having such a great game so far. Just comes off from getting a touchdown. As you come in here, he gets around Kaz. Kaz puts some type of pushes him to the side, and right during that push, it looks like Trev's leg locked up, and I heard they said that they heard a knee pop or whatever. Hopefully it's not that serious, but Trev was definitely out for the game. He does not come back. That is an unfortunate loss on a player that they just got, that they were just seeing the benefits from.
3rd and goal, Ramsey finds Kaz in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Javon gets to touch the extra point, 7-6. Monarchs finally score.
After 2 drop touchdown passes, they finally get into the end zone. Regardless of what's happening, Ramsey does not lose his cool, and he's able to find his receivers and keep the drive going, and he's able to finally get into the end zone for the score.
Last play to have, Shannon scrambles, throws it up, tip picked off by Bell, taking us into the half, 7-6, Monarchs. I'm going to talk real quick, and then I'll let Ghost go. Trevor's going to be out for the game. He says he's going to see a doctor, specialist, but he's out for the season. He said he definitely tore something. This is his other knee. He had issues with the knee. Now the opposite knee got hurt, and he's done for the season. This guy's been going through a lot. He just lost his father, for everybody that didn't know that. And our thoughts and prayers go with him, man. It's like when you see a guy battle and come back, we see how he was having a great game. He has several teams after him, Blackout, DG, and 99 was able to get him. And for him to show an impact his first game of the season and then get injured and it's down for a significant, gonna be a while, it just hurts your soul, and it shows you that this game, it could be art, it can be an escape, but it can also be devastating.
And this hurts to see because this is a guy that played in the UFL for a long time, and after he got injured when he was playing with after he got injured a few years back, it took him a while to recover. Like he was saying, you know, he was gonna come back, he's gonna work, and he did a lot of work to try to come back. Finally back in the league, you know, his spirits is high after, you know, the passing of his father. You know, obviously he wants to play in dedication, playing hard as he always does. And in the very game that you're contributing, you go right back out in an injury, and then that just, like you said, that the words you took right out of my mind, like, hurts your soul, it really does. And I feel really bad for him. I'm praying that it's not as serious as it sounds, that it could be something, hopefully that it's not something that serious, so he may lose a few weeks. You know, my prayers out for him, because I know that football, like you said, it's an escape, and it's hard to see someone go down off of an injury like that when you just finally get back in the game.
So now that we said that, we're going to get back in the game. It's 7-6 Monarchs. Henry got to catch the ball. They drafted him to make these plays.
Yeah.
But Kaz knew this is Henry's Achilles heel. He drops passes. He dropped the clinching play in the Street Bowl. He dropped the clinching game winner against Carver when he was with the Hustlers.
Yeah.
In BQFL. So unfortunately, the guy doesn't, you know, he's sometimes considered 50-50. I think he's still the most explosive guy in the game. I think his confidence and swagger is addictive, and it can spill out to the rest of the team, and it can make them better, which we see the Monarchs kind of taking him on his personality a little bit. But he got to make these plays because Ramsey's getting him the ball, and he's putting it better than, I don't know what other quarterback he played. I know he played with Reem, played with Chuck. None of them quarterbacks could get him the ball the way Ramsey gets him the ball. And he's letting them down. On the other side, this defense is, listen, 99 had the ball 3 times, they gave him 1 touchdown. The Monarchs defense is playing the way they usually play. They just got to find a way to slow down Shannon's passing attack, his running attack, and I think Damo's the key to that.
And for 99, yes, this game is close, but it got to hurt knowing that you lose Trev, the guy you finally get back in the game. And the only point scored on the board was from Trev, and now you lose him. So guys got to step up. They can't, you know, this half has to be a completely different game than the last half. You know, you got to play either in dedication, whatever's going to fire you up. This half has to be it. Shannon has to make accurate throws. He has to take off when he has to. Everybody got to play their game. I'm not going to emphasize one person playing better or whatnot. Everybody got to play their game and come out firing in the second half, because you lost a big piece on your team that you just got playing, putting his body on the line for y'all. Y'all got to do the same for him and come away with the win in this game.
After a few plays for the first down, Shannon, with blocking by Book, is still sacked by Damo. Second down, Shannon throws a stretch in the gap. Bell gets a hand in it, incomplete. Third down, Shannon, with blocking from Book, is sacked again by Damo. They're going to have to punt, and Damo is running through Book like a turnstile. That's what he looked like. He looked like he's going, and he's taking it back to the Metro card days. I mean, the token days. He's going, excuse me. He's running right through this guy. Why is Book there? Book might as well just lay down and give him a straight path to Shannon because he's giving Shannon absolutely no protection. If he was a security company, I would want my money back because he's not protecting Shannon at all. Ramsey's going to throw to Malachi in the gap. Nice game. After getting the first down, Ramsey throws deep to Henry on the sideline. That is dropped. This is, I believe, Henry's third drop of the game. A third touchdown drop of the game. Those are 3 touchdowns that you dropped. Somebody get Henry some stickum. Third down, Ramsey with blocking from Cass. Throws to Javon, cut in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Sleddy gets beat as Javon cuts in. 13-6. Sleddy's been getting beat defensively.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think, and I've heard some guys question, and I've heard a very important close source to me saying Sleddy's not the defender that he used to be. He's still a great offensive player. We've seen him get beat a few times now this season.
Yeah.
And now we see teams going after him. He was supposed to be the guy to come and lock things up. I guess he didn't get that memo because teams are going after him and he's giving up touchdowns.
But the thing about it is, and I'm going to say the different dynamic, when he is in the red zone, when he's playing that close to the end zone, he is a much better defender because there's less space for the offense to maneuver. When you look downfield, he gets beat, and that's exactly what's been happening.
Him get beat by Wesley.
So at the end of the day, this is something that Slutty has to step up, but not taking away anything from Javon. Javon has been the Monarchs' most consistent offensive player this season.
Yep.
Remember how you said that he used to be a person who's 50-50, drop passes here and there, not always putting it together? He's been looking phenomenal this season.
And last season,
Yes,
and
because of that, that is why he's been Ramsey's main target this season so far.
13-6 Monarchs. Second down, Shannon throws a Christian in the middle for a decent gain, getting him for a first down. Shannon then throws a Slutty near the sideline, getting him to the 7-yard line. Third and goal, Shannon finds Fig in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, the defense leaves the gaps wide open. Slutty gets the extra point, 13-13. Shannon strikes back.
And that man Fig has to get the ball a lot more because he is a really capable defender, very fast in the gaps, and that is something that
Capable offensive player,
So my thing is, he's fast in the gaps, and that is why Shannon needs to use him more and get these plays downfield. He is a guy that can help you get downfield, and he has hands to make these catches. So at the end of the day, he needs to get the ball more, but finally Shannon finds it for the score.
Ramsey on first down, throws a Ty in the gap. Ty stopped running, picked off by Radio, gets the ball to 99. And I heard this play. I was standing there when they called this play. They saw a mismatch, and I guess they was just off what they was going to do, over-analyzing things. And Ramsey throws the interception on first down. 99 gets the ball back.
And this is something that you got to expect from Ramsey every now and then. Even he admits that he's going to mess up on a play like here. But here, I think that this was just a clear miscommunication. Not necessarily a bad throw, but as you see Ty looking in the gap, he stops, not thinking that he's supposed to cut through the play. He does it, and at least Radio with a free pass right to him for the interception. That is a terrible play by this Monarchs team right
Third and goal, Shannon on forward rush, dodges Damo from the sack, finds Slutty in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Damo gets the sack on the extra point, but Shannon's able to get find Slutty. Now, it's 19-13. We've talked about Slutty lacking defensively, not on the offensive side of the ball. He's been that number one receiver that Shannon said last season when they lost in the playoff game, I need a number one. He got him because Slutty's been dominant offensively, and that's another great play.
And the funny thing is, I got to remember all the way back when this team played against, when this 99 team played against, when they played against YMM. In the playoff game, and it was Slutty that beat them on that downfield play. So at the end of the day, when you draft a person like Slutty, yes, he's a two-way player, but you get him because he is a dynamic offensive player. The defensive plays that he makes is a plus, but you get him because he is a receiver that can make plays on any part of the ball, and he makes the plays on any part of the ball, and he is a downfield target that that Shannon's able to use, and he gets him in for the score.
After getting the first down, Ramsey pumps and throws deep to Henry, who beats Jay on the sideline, caught in the end zone for the touchdown. They tie the game back up. It is 19-19. First of all, this is so bad in so many ways. First of all, Henry dropped 3 touchdowns, and Ramsey's still looking for him. And if you can't catch anybody better with the pump than this. Jay literally on the pump he basically set up a sandcastle and might as well have been on the beach. You know, you got your legs, you kicking around on the beach, because he basically completely, undeniably stopped and realized, oh,
What?
Henry ain't there no more.
Mm.
He's running.
Yeah, you had me there.
Yeah. Just like that. You saw you stop. That's what they did to him.
Yeah.
And Henry eventually is gonna make a play. That is a beautiful throw by Ramsey. That's a touchdown.
And I'm just gonna say one thing. This is just my opinion, but I think Jay saw that last play where Ramsey threw an interception, and he thought he could cheat on one.
My turn.
Yeah, he's the next man up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ramsey caught him with the pump, played him for a fool the whole play, and then throws it over the top. That's exactly what it was, and throws it right to Henry downfield, and that shows that Ramsey is not going to lose confidence in a receiver that's that good. Ramsey already recognized how good he is. If he's going to keep getting open, he's going to catch one of these passes. And fortunately for him, Henry's able to get this one for the big touchdown right there.
After getting the first down, Shannon drives to the end zone, the red zone, in a few plays. 6 seconds left. Last play of the game, Shannon rolls left on 4 rush, throws a stretch, cutting in the back of the end zone. That's going to be dropped, taking it into overtime, 19-19.
And a play that we didn't show or we didn't emphasize is that on one of those plays, Henry, after this touchdown pass, runs into Stretch. They collide on one of the plays. I guess Stretch was rushing in, and because of that, they both get injured and they both leave the game. None of the Stretch returns, but Henry has to stay out of the game.
Right.
I guess the injury was more significant on Henry's part, and that is why they lose him for this overtime. That is a devastating loss for this Monarchs team.
Stretch could have ended the game with this catch.
Yeah.
I know he got hurt.
Yeah.
But he came back in later. He got to make this catch. And Stretch is another guy from when he played with the Browns, played at YMM. If this guy, he gets up to go get the ball, he just doesn't always come down with it.
I believe this is the second drop.
And Shannon put it right there, and he dropped his ball, and that's going to overtime. This is 99's second overtime this season. They lost to the Raiders in overtime already. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to see what happens this one. After we're gonna jump into the overtime. Monarchs getting the ball first. 3rd and goal. After 2 passes in the gap, Ramsey throws to Javon, cutting in the back of the end zone. Jay is there, but Javon still makes the catch for the touchdown. If you look here, Jay leaves the sideline and gets to Javon too late. Benny gets the extra point, 26-19. They take a lead.
And this is Jay getting beat yet again. This time from leaving the sideline. I don't know what he's trying. It seems like he's trying his best to make a play, and Ramsey is playing him on these plays right here. If you look here, he leaves the sideline. If he stays in the sideline in the gap here, he can make a play on this play, or it will stop Ramsey from making this throw. Javon, if he's able to play this consistently, that just shows that his hands are becoming elite.
Yep.
If he's able to make catches like this, and that is why Ramsey's so comfortable getting in the ball, especially plays like this. They connect for the touchdown right here.
Shannon on 4 rush, throws a fig, cutting in the gap for a big gain, getting him to the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal, Shannon finds Fig, cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Fig gets by Bell as he cuts on the outside.
Fig is a guy who's really good at getting into the gaps, like I said earlier, and Shannon's able to find him to give him the opportunity to come away with this win here. They have to go for 2, but they get in the end zone.
Shannon was blocking by Book. Is still sacked by Damo to end the game. Damo's 5th sack of the game ends the game 26-25. Monarchs come away with the win.
And that is all Shannon. That is all Davi. If whoever's on the sideline making the calls on who's on the field or who makes the plays or whatever, who's in the game, they were supposed to take Book out on this play. I'm sorry. Book is a capable blocker, but he is not having a good game. Damo was beating him. 4 sacks already, 1 on the extra point, but still, you take him out and have somebody else block. I don't care who it is. Somebody has to block for Shannon because this Book blocking was not working, and they still keep him in the game, and they expected that different outcome. What is that saying? The definition of insanity? That you do the same thing, expect a different outcome. That's exactly what happens here, and the same thing happens to end the game. Damo gets his 5th sack. That was a terrible decision leaping in the game, and I think that is what hurt them stop them from getting the 2-point conversion.
We're gonna go to interview with Kaz and Damo, and of the Monarchs. We're gonna be right back, and then I'll wrap the game up. What's going on, people? Stephen J here with the Monarchs. They came away with a close win, 26-25. First of all, let's talk about the situation with Henry. He banged knees, got hurt. He left. What's going on with him as far as you know?
That's unfortunate. We think he's going to the hospital. He banged with stretch in the middle of the field. Late in the game, it sucks. Trav got hurt early. It's a game. You know, we come out here and play. We just hope he's all right. We're going to check on him as soon as we out of here.
My defense didn't play usually like they usually. I usually a stingy defense, but y'all made some key stops when you had to. Tell me about what was the strategy. Was Shannon a little too much today?
I think, honestly, our whole goal is to stop Shannon. So I feel like you got to treat him like Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? He's a running quarterback. He's going to think run always because instinctively he's an athlete. He's going to think run first. We got to force him to pass.
Kaz, real quick, but you was able to depend on the offense. That's the side you struggled with last season. This season, you're able to put up the most points y'all put up all since last year. What's going on with that offense?
I mean, listen, there's no excuses in this game. We all know we could come out here, catch the ball. We all got to do what we do. The field done changed multiple times this season. We knew Ramsey could get the job done. We knew our defense could hold it down. We dropped some key touchdown passes today. We left 3 on the board, actually. It's a testament to our will. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep going regardless. We huddling. We never going to break. We always going to be here at the end of the game.
Damo, you have 5 sacks today. You was able to neutralize somewhat Shannon. You beat one of their top blockers. What was the strategy coming in for you today?
I mean, I try to switch it up every once in a while. So, you know, between the blockers, it's either they too big and they can't stay with me on the speed, or they're too little and I can just power right through them. So I just try to find different ways of filling it. We had a game plan coming in. We had a game plan coming in this week, and it worked to success. We talked about it the entire week. Having that bye week really helped us. Even though we didn't come out, we spoke. We talked. We know that there's a lot of running quarterbacks in this league, and we're trying to prepare for them every single week. So it worked out this week.
Kaz, last question. How big was this game? You're undefeated, first place you're tied for first place with UTF. How big was this game for you?
I mean, it's huge. You never want to come into a week thinking that you could potentially lose. It could always happen. We just want to fight. We don't care about the regular season. Like y'all said previously, Ramsey known for not winning in the playoffs. Monarchs ain't known for winning in the playoffs. And nobody fears us. The recruits is here. Monarchs is still here. Yes, we going ball. We not going nowhere. It's ours to lose.
And they want that wild card for first. They want that bye in the first round. All right, guys. And Tim just said they're playing UTF next week for first place in the division. That's going to be a big one we see on the game. Hey, yo. We're going to thank those guys for being here with us. Definitely shout to them. Let me get to 99 real quick. First of all, Shannon played great. You know, threw a touchdown in the first half, threw 2 touchdowns in the second half, and then threw a touchdown in the third. That's overtime. Mm-hmm. He played great. Played way better than he did last year.
Yeah.
Now, Will, that plays with underrated, who plays with Shannon, was at the game. He's now playing with 99. He said he'll be suited up next week. He wanted to be there for the roster spot, make sure everybody knows he was there. So he'll be playing next week. That means Book is going to the sideline. Booking's not going to play. Why? He got dominated. Do me a favor, Ghost. Play my Congo line music. So you hear it? Dun, 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 sack. 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 That's all we heard. He ran through him. It was like a conga line. That's all he was doing to Damo. That's all he was doing to Book. Damo was running a conga line to get Shannon. And Book did absolutely nothing. I talked about Book earlier in his career. He went to the gym, worked out, got better. But he's slow.
Yeah.
He got muscle. He's a little stronger now. But he got dominated. He made Damo look like Aaron Donald, one of the best defensive players in the NFL right now. That's how he ran him. He beat him with speed. He beat him with power. He beat him with technique. Book is not a tight end. Book is not really known to catch the ball. If the one thing they need him to do, he can't do, they don't need him. And he hurt them this game.
I'm gonna say this though. It's a little unfair to say that he got dominated by Damo. That is definite.
He let another man dominate him.
Yes, but my thing is,
I don't care nothing about what you're about to say. You could try to be his friend. You could
I'm not trying
pick
to
him
be
up.
his friend,
I'm
anything
going
like
with
that.
numbers. I'm going with what I saw. I'm seeing Shannon going for the 2-point conversion to possibly win the game. And Damo was able to run through Book
At the end
to
of the day,
get
listen,
a sack.
Listen,
end the game.
Listen, they got to be men and understand that there's a certain point where this just two guys facing each other is a bad matchup.
A bad matchup.
So my thing is this:
Are you crazy? You crazy, right?
What? What did I say?
This
wrong?
was a bad matchup? No, it wasn't. This was the bully, right?
okay.
Bullying somebody.
All right.
And the thing about it was, you expect, like in after school specials, the club punch and the bully gets knocked out, or in the tortoise in the hair, when the turtle who's slow and destined to lose wins. This ain't a comic
Can I ask
book.
you a question,
This
though?
ain't an
Yeah.
after school special. He got dominated, and instead of them making a change, they continue to let the man get bullied.
So my thing is this: I am not gonna. At the end of the day, yes, he gave up 5 sacks in this game, Book. But other than that, the rest of the season, they only gave up a combination of 3 sacks. So yes, this particular matchup was terrible, and that just shows that whoever's leading, either Shannon or Davia, anybody on the sideline, they should have made that change, and they did not make that change. I would have made that change before overtime. Because this wasn't working, and they decided to give him one more last shot to say, you know what? I don't think you're gonna get your fifth. You're gonna give up your 5th sack on this guy. Let me give you one last chance. That one last chance gave away the game for them. That's my opinion. I'm not gonna blame just one person.
Shannon's not going to get sacked a lot because he moves in the pocket and he's a runner. But if you want him to make shots at Slutty, you want Fig to get the ball more, you want these other guys to get involved, he has to be able to stay in the pocket and make throws, especially now that they lost Trev for the season.
Yes.
And Mimi left.
Yes.
And even Martin never scared. So they're going to have to find a way to buy him time. At the end of the day, Monarchs came up with a strategy where they had Henry spying. Shannon was able to score to tie the game when they put Henry at ball giver, which absolutely did nothing because Shannon did not worry about running on Henry. He wasn't trying to run on Henry.
Yeah.
He wanted to attempt to throw it with Henry left. But once they put Henry in the backfield and put Damo at the line, Damo brings the pressure. Henry spying on Shannon, waiting for Shannon to run. You see Henry make several tags on this game. So 99 got to get it together. On the other side, guys got to stop disrespecting Ramsey. Monarchs defense played terrible today. And it was more Shannon playing good, but they played bad today. There's been a top defense. When I said they've been averaging 11.3 points a game. In this game, they gave up 25 points. So Shannon put points up on their defense.
Yeah.
But the key was Ramsey, who's right now scoring 23 points a game, scored 26. You know what he did so far this season? Last season, when he won Offensive Player of the Year, he went in his first 4 games with UTF. Ramsey was 14 touchdown passes to 4 interceptions. Won Offensive Player of the Year, ended the season with 22. This year, in 4 games, Ramsey is 14 touchdown passes to 3 interceptions. So the man is good.
Yeah.
Does he make some boneheaded plays? Absolutely. But the man is good. I've heard people say this guy's trash. I heard me say he's terrible. Everybody say this. The guy led the league in touchdown passes last year, and the guy is leading the league right now in touchdown passes now. Show the man some respect. You may not like him, you may like his style, but at the end of the day, the guy took a team that was one of the lowest scoring offenses in his league last year at 11, and now he has them averaging 23 points a game. Give the man his props.
Yeah.
Henry goes down, but he's not out for long. I spoke to him. He said he'll be back this season. He'll be back next week. He was okay. So they're lucky. Hopefully he'll be back next game. But at the end of the day, Kaz is on his way to win his second captain of the year.
Yes.
Because he not only moved back in the draft, saved some money on league fee, got Henry, who was arguably the best player in the league, went out, got a guy that UTF cut who was an offensive player of the year. And right now they're undefeated.
And
leading a top team in scoring on offense and a great defense. he is on his way to win back-to-back captains.
And not only that, I think that he's also in the running for block of the year because he's also protecting Ramsey in the pocket.
Right.
So Ramsey has not
It's gonna
really
be tough to take that from Shaq.
Yes,
but,
but he's up there because Ramsey has not really been sacked that much this season. So that he's up there because he's really protecting him and giving him that extra time. And a lot of these touchdown passes is because Cass is blocking and protecting him. So he may be a very decorated player this year on this Monarchs team because he's up for a couple of awards this year.
We're going to wrap this one up. At the end of the day, Monarchs are for real, and they get a real test this week as they play UTF, another team undefeated, and Ramsey's former team. The team that let him go to go get Corey, and now Corey hasn't played, and Jeremy stepped in and has this team undefeated.
Yes.
So that's going to be a game, if you're around, you might want to see that Ramsey against his old team is going to be awesome. We're going to wrap this game up. We're going to thank y'all for being with us. We got the games this week. Then next week we off because we're doing the EHS Kids Tournament. Make sure you're out there for that. And we're going to have next week, the week we off, we're going to drop a video of how we think the first half went, our contenders and our pretenders. So we're going to wrap this one up. We're going to wrap the show up. Monarchs with the win in overtime, beating 99, 26-25. We'll see y'all guys next week. On behalf of Real Tough Talk, I'm Stephen J, my partner Ghost. We'll see y'all guys next week on another episode of Real Tough Talk.